Good morning everyone. Rain's back. It's rained all night. I sort of lay awake for a fair bit just listening to it. Can't hear it too much now that we have our bedroom in the back, but the at the front you can really hear it on the cover that we've made. But it's a bit of a slow day today. We have a few deadlines that we have to meet sort of online, but we do want to get out, so we thought we would just have a quick look around, because previously we talked about a walk we went on with Max just up to the next village where the fountain had this big wheel, and it was sort of such a grand statement in a tiny village. And then yesterday when we were out, I noticed that in one of the bigger villages further along, one of the fountains that has never ever ran since we've ever come to Portugal, so in over like 4 years, was running again because there's been so much rain. So we just thought we'd have a quick look at that, and just an hour out just to blow the cobwebs away and have a bit of a different view before we crack on with all of the work we have to do this afternoon. And we'd like you to come along with us. So we'll get Max up and in the car and we'll go. This one's for all our Scottish viewers. I was so surprised the other day when I spotted a thistle just at the top of the street, just hand in glove with the little yellow flowers and the grasses. So pretty. We've taken to leaving the truck up on the land on the public access road, or just near it, just purely because it takes up a lot of space in the street, and with Christmas coming there's a lot more people coming into the village to visit family and stuff, and we don't want to be taking the road up. But also it gives the hunters like an idea that there's stuff going on and people around, so to be extra vigilant. Well, that's what I think anyway. This is one of the larger villages in our area. It's where we came to see the concert on Saturday, and had all the lovely music in that church. This was one of the first fountains that we saw because it's right on the main road when we came looking for our land, but we've never ever seen water running in this fountain. It's always been completely dry. It says on there that it was constructed in 1953 and then it was restored in 2012, so 10 years ago. It shows what wealth there must have been in the area because it's quite huge. It's got seating on both sides and it's a really large space. I think they sort of are one of those things that you can look at. They're so different and varied in every village we've been in, but they speak volumes about the history of the place and how people came together socially, and I think that's really a lovely thing. So this sign here says that the water is not tested. It's all just running, filtered through the rocks and the land, so it's really clear in most places. Lovely. We've moved along the road just a short drive and we're now at a place you might recognise if you've watched our previous vlogs. This is where we used to get our water before we became aware of the water that's in our village. but this one, last time we came here just at the end of the summer, this side was just a trickle barely coming out, and the far side was quite intermittent. Now, as you can see, with all the rain and the aquifer's been filled, they're both gushing and real constant pressures going. Again, this is quite another meeting point. No parking spaces at this one, you take your chances, but yeah, we've still got seats and tables. It's still a meeting place right on the road, very much community spirit. This is the one that's in a village closest to ours, and we were trying to describe it when we were doing one of our Pips casts. It's sort of out of the village but cut into the hillside, and the sheer size of it, it's quite grand in an old way. That's what I think anyway. And then you've got your big wheel at the top there, and a place to collect your water just in front, but you have to access it up the steps, and then there's seating area all around. You can imagine way back when, on a better day, people would come and meet, have a quick chat, and then move on again. Yeah. Max has found a little stream, so he's happy. He's ready for an explore. But just wanted to go and have a look, see if it's still if the wheel still turned. Max has found the stream that I think the fountain flows out of. So the rain's coming back down again, and we've got things to get on with. But I think a nice hot hearty meal is in our future very soon. So I'm planning on making a curry today. On the run up to Christmas, I like to try and keep our food as simple as possible but still tasty, and I like to try and get in as many fresh veggies just to combat any overindulgence we might have during the festive period. So I thought I would share a recipe with you today. You've sort of seen me make it before on another vlog, and a few people did say that it would be nice to see the full recipe. So today I'm making our favourite curry, cauliflower and sweet potato curry, and then I'm going to add in some fava beans just to boost up the protein and the flavour. I try and keep it as simple as possible. So I've got some cauliflower, a sweet potato, an onion, some fava beans. This one looks like a little dog with no legs. Simple spices. I've found a really nice curry. It's just Lidl's own, but it's a nice flavourful mix without being too hot. Darren doesn't really like it too hot, but I always add a bit more cumin and a few chilli flakes. If you like it spicy, then stick in a lot of chilli flakes, then black pepper and a can of coconut milk. The glass of red wine's just for me because I like a glass of wine when I'm cooking. The beans I'm just going to cook in some boiling water, and then I'll add them in near the end so they can just suck up the flavour that's in the curry sauce. The rest I'm just going to chop up and put into bowls, and then I'll be ready to start making my curry. And garlic, sweet potato, and I'll probably do half the cauliflower. That's all my main ingredients ready. Sweet potato, onion and garlic, cauliflower and the beans. So in the pan I have some delicious olive oil that we got from our neighbour, and here's my onions and garlic. my onions are getting nice and soft, so I'm going to put in my spices now so that they can really build the flavour. I'm pretty loose on how I do it. About 2 big teaspoonfuls, probably 3, and 1 of cumin. Good bit of black pepper. Toast those spices, fry them up in with the onions, and then we'll add everything else in, and then I'll put salt in near the end so I can get a good balance. If you want to put your chilies in, this is where you put it in now. Sweet potato, cauliflower, get everything coated in that lovely oil. Once it's all mixed in, put the lid on, turn it down low and leave it for 20 minutes at least, and then test how soft your veg are. It's about 20 minutes later and I'm going to test the veg and see if they're cooked. The smell is delicious. Yep, there's all my beans going in. I'm going to turn the heat off and I'm going to pop the lid back on and just leave it and let all of the flavour soak into the beans, and we're going to have that for dinner this evening with some nice crusty bread.